Defender of Freedom, uploading data log for day 79 through 81 of the Galactic War. Hello Data Archive. Day 79 and 80 saw the introduction of an exciting new major order, with some democratic decision making available to the Helldivers. Helldivers are lighting up the battlefield against the Metal Menaces, and we are progressing with a very tight pace to complete our new major order in time. In addition, the winning streak of the Super Earth Helldivers on consecutive terminated defenses was put into jeopardy. At the start of day 79, the 11th defense of Astanu was at the end of the first third, with Super Earth starting to build a lead on the Terminids. The Super Earth Helldivers won the defense after the second third, leading to the 9th defense victory in Astanu. We conducted an interview with one of our own Helldivers after successfully extracting from the completed defense campaign. Helldiver, welcome back. Tell us about your victory.
At the end of the day, it's all about sticking to the basics, We came here to do our job, keep our heads down, and do what we do best. Defend Super Earth. But, it's not about me. The team, they really pulled it together. We executed the plan just like in our training.
The Terminids seemed to push back much harder this time. Any comments, Helldiver?
The bugs, they got their strategies, but we've seen it all before. We just try to keep the pressure on, stay aggressive, and, capitalize on their mistakes, and ultimately win the defense.
Any words for our Super Earth citizens at home?
Just want to say thank you for all the support. It really keeps us going out here. We hear you cheering all the way from Super Earth, and, it means the world to us. And, to the young aspiring Helldivers out there, enlist as soon as you can. It'll be the best choice of your life.
Thank you, Helldiver. As the defense of Astanu concluded, a new major order was announced. Operation Legitimate Undertaking. The purpose of this major order is to counterattack the massive automaton attacks we've been victim to. Phase 1 is Citizen Rescue. 2 planets in particular hold experimental weapons manufacturing plants that are of utmost importance to our war efforts. Chuhe and Penta require liberation to complete the major order, but High Command has warned that only the first planet rescued will be in time to rescue our citizens and our weaponry. Helldivers must decide, democratically, which planet to save first. Penta, which holds the research on the experimental airburst rocket launcher, or Chuhe, which would unlock the development of anti-tank mine emplacements. At the time of receiving the major order, we did not have FTL jump access to either of the useless appliance-infested planets. So in order to liberate either, the liberation of other planets along their supply line must be completed before being able to begin the liberation of each planet respectively. In order to access Penta, we require liberation of the icy rock planet of Lasoth, and in order to access Chuhe, we require liberation of the scorching hot Kent. We will need to safely liberate both planets in order to succeed in this major order. However, only the first of the 2 liberated planets will result in the retrieval of our lost weaponry and civilians. Helldivers chose democratically which planet to liberate first. The voting algorithm determined that Penta and the airburst rocket launcher should be saved, along with its citizens. Helldivers thus flocked to Lasoth to begin the first step to opening FTL jump access to Penta. Significant progress was made on the liberation efforts through day 79 into day 80. By the early morning of day 80, Lasoth saw liberation once again. Immediately afterwards, Helldivers deployed in droves to Penta upon the opening of the supply lines, giving access to the planet. With the very quick support to start the liberation of Penta, early access to the rocket launcher was only available on this planet. Some Helldivers have been having challenges using the experimental rocket launcher. It seems the power level of this new weapon is still a bit unmanageable. Many Helldiver squad mates have been lost due to the misfiring of this extremely powerful weapon. The Ministry of Defense has emphasized that this weapon is still in its experimental stages, and once a stratagem is secured, improvements are expected. Steady progress was made on the liberation of Penta throughout the day, but midway through the liberation efforts on the Terminated front, there was yet another uprising in Osha'une. With the refocus of Helldiver efforts into the Automaton front due to the major order, it seemed as though this would result in failure of the defense of Osha'une. Through the rest of day 80 into day 81, the focus of Helldivers was on the liberation of Penta, and this completed in the early morning of day 81. High Command has briefed that 90% of Penta's chemical factories have been secured, and most chemical technicians trapped on the planet were rescued. But tragically, some technicians had already perished due to toxic fume poisoning. It seems there is no limit to the brutality of our electronic adversaries. Following the liberation, the RL-77 airburst rocket launcher was authorized for requisition on Helldiver superdestroyers. Helldivers then had a choice to make. For the success of the major order, we must liberate Menkent or Court Bay in order to access Chuhe. Menkent was already halfway through its liberation and seemed to be the best choice to make at the time. On the other hand, on the Terminid front, the Helldivers' defense was behind against the Terminids in the 5th defense of Osha'une. The Helldivers preferred to liberate Court Bay instead of dropping into the hellish Menkent. In addition, significant forces eager to explode thoughtless bugs with a new stratagem returned to Oshiune to assist in the defense. And miraculously, the defense of Oshiune had a come-from-behind victory on day 81, with only 1.5 hours left on the defense. This came at the cost of fulfilling the major order, and by the end of day 81, FTL jump access to Chuhe was still not yet established. However, on the Terminated front, Omicron, a planet originally incapable of making any liberation progress, has now reached 60% liberation, and we may soon see its first ever completed liberation in this war. If this planet is liberated, it will also be the first time we have FTL jump access to Zygon Prime. This concludes this data log for day 79 through 81 data archive. Remember, High Command reminds you that friendly fire isn't, especially with the new weaponry. We are deploying Helldivers to Court Bay.